So now it's time to talk about pressing. Now pressing is probably one of my best attributes when it comes to FIFA. The way I set traps, the way I like offside traps to get my team high up the pitch, the way I watch lanes while still running at my opponent. Like pressing is just the way I defend, and I think it's a lot more effective than sitting back, because when you press and they get past your first line of press, you're still going to have your defence anyway, if they do get past it. And if they don't get past it, you win the ball high up the pitch and you can just score loads of goals on the counter-attack and stuff. So pressing is the best way I defend. So I'm going to show you a few examples, and then obviously I'm going to talk you through my step-by-step thoughts and process on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So in this clip, as soon as I lose the ball, I want to win it back, because I never want to give my opponent a second to think. I always want to make him feel like he's got no time to breathe, and he's just, as soon as he loses the ball, as soon as I lose the ball, I want him to be thinking like, okay, I'm going to get pressed now, like what do I do? I want him to be panicking the whole time, and I always want to force him into making decisions. So obviously, I lose the ball here, and straight away, I switch to my CDM, and I just start running it in with Vieira, you see. I tried to win the ball there, missed him. Once again, I try to win the ball, missed him, but we don't give up and then like think, okay, I've missed him, now I'm gonna have to sit back and watch the lane. I'm gonna still give him no time to move, like no time to breathe. And obviously, as you can see, all my other players are watching like all his options. So the best thing I can do is keep running at him, as I do here, and I finally win the ball back. And as I say, if you win the ball back high, you're gonna create chances, obviously, as I did here. For some reason, I decided to chip it, which I won't be doing again. So obviously I just missed the chance, but in my head I'm like, okay, I've just missed the chance, but I want to win the ball back and create another chance. So he takes his goal kick, and straight away with Cristiano Ronaldo, I've switched to him and I'm running at him straight away to try and get the ball, as you can see. And then he gives it to his other centre back, and I'm trying to trap him, so he doesn't have an option to his full back. And then obviously if there's no option to the full back, he's going to turn and try to find another option. Now me, I know that he's not going to give the ball to the fullback, and he's going to try and turn. So as you can see, I quickly switch to Neymar and I charge him down, and obviously I've won the ball back. And then obviously I'm going to keep running at him, and he's just left with like no option, to be honest, and his players put the ball out of play. So it's just a constant cycle of switching while cutting passing lanes, while running at him, and while trying to trap his player with two different defenders. Like when I'm defending in my head, it's like, okay, I'm not defending to stop a goal, I'm defending to try and have a counter-attacking opportunity. Like that's my first thought in my head is, okay, I'm going to get a tackle in and I want to counter. It's not defending to stop a goal unless I'm in my own half. Like I know if he gets past all my press here, like if he gets past all this press and plays the ball to like one of his strikers, I've still got 4, 5, 6 guys to try and defend him. So it's just risk versus reward, and the reward of pressing high is so much like higher than the risk of like him getting past my press. Me personally, I'm one of the only pros that play aggressive defense. A lot of pros that like to sit back and like wait for their opponent to make a mistake, but I like to make my opponent make a mistake due to me having good pressure, having good like defense. So obviously I've lost the ball here, and straight away I'm running in with Ronaldo. I've quick switched to Mbappe to try trap him. I've switched back to Ronaldo, but obviously he turned the other way. It's the micro movement. So obviously I've switched to Mbappe to watch Semedo, and then he's started to do a ball roll. Now I'm controlling Mbappe, and I know he's going to do a ball roll. So in my head, I think he's going to come back on his left foot. So I quickly switched to Ronaldo. So as soon as he comes on his left foot, I can charge him, and then obviously he'll be trapped. But obviously he went onto his right foot and tricked me, and then he's still got no options because I've pressed so high with the rest of my team that even though he didn't go on his left foot, there's no options on his screen like at all. And if he was going to go to his winger over here, what I would do is I'll just quickly switch to my fullback and get in front of the passing lane. So he's literally got no options at all, and he'll just get trapped and he'll lose the ball as he did here. And once again, I get a chance to attack from it, and I get to create another opportunity, which I don't score from, but I'm getting in the positions to score just from pressing high and just like making him make mistakes. Once again, he's got the ball of the winger, so straight away with Mendy, I'm running at him while watching the lane to the striker. Obviously no lane, and now I know he's going to turn onto his other foot because there's no options on his left foot. And then I know he's going to give it back to his fullback because it's the only place he can go. And then this is another way I cover the through ball down the line. I know now his Mane has made a run, so there's no point in me turning around and trying to watch Mane because he's just too quick for my fullback. So instead, I had to run at his fullback because I know in his head now I want to play the ball down the line. So straight away, he's going to take a touch and he's going to play it. But I'm not going to give him time to take a touch and play it. As you can see, I carry on running, leaving the right hand side totally exposed. But I win the ball, I tackle him and obviously almost win the ball back. But it's just about constantly pressing and not being scared of the risk if you do end up not putting a tackle in. The most important part of pressing is player switching, because at the end of the day, if you're constantly player switching and watching all the options, he's going to be left with nothing else, and you can sort of just squeeze him and choke him into having nothing left. So if you player switch and press a lane and run at someone, you're sort of guarding two players at once with one player. So obviously, let me try to find an example and then I'll show you. Here, there you go, perfect example. Here with my centre half, instead of dropping off and watching the run of Firmino and Pogba, I run at Mbappe, so I'm going to block the through ball, and at the same time I have a chance to put a tackle in. As you see here, I've watched I watched both of the passes, and then obviously on his Mbappe, I'm there to put in a tackle. Here we go, he's played the ball to Firmino, and then Mbappe, he's got two options here, but with my defender, I've run out to watch both options at the same time, and then put a tackle in. So I'm sort of guarding three players with just one defender, just from running out with him. Obviously, if I don't put a tackle in here, he's going to have a clear through ball and he could be in on goal. But me personally, I know if I get the ball, I have a chance to counter-attack, and I back myself to be able to put the tackle in. But obviously, this took me quite a lot of time to learn and perfect. So when I first started trying to learn how to press, obviously I give easy through balls in, and it's going to happen. You're going to give easy goals up. But if you keep practicing and just keep trying to defend like this, you will get better and you will just become a better overall player. Obviously, as you see, I win the ball back and I have a chance to counter. It's like a 3-on-3 here with obviously his full-backs and his two centre-halves. Just winning the ball back up high creates so many opportunities attacking. It's just defending to attacking. My transition, my FIFA transition, my transitions in attack and defense is what makes me better than a lot of the other pros. It's just I'm so good at winning the ball back and then attacking straight away and just constantly being on the front foot. So obviously in this clip here, if I don't win the ball back, he's gonna be in on goal. But this is why I talk about in the other episode about goalkeeper movement is really important, because I know if he gets past me, I'm still going to have another resort to try and save the goal, within my goalkeeper. And obviously, also in my head, it's Firmino and Pogba, who aren't the quickest players. So I know, I don't know, my Zidane, my Van Dijk, and my Mendy, which will be at the bottom of the screen here, will have a chance to catch up as well. So it's not all about, he's not 100% goal. If I miss him, I'm still going to have a chance to save it with my goalkeeper, with my defenders catching up. So here's another example of me player switching and just pressing really high. Obviously, I've missed another chance. I don't really want to talk about what I've tried to do here. I've tried to chip the ball and I don't know why. But as soon as his keeper has saved the shot, obviously he's looking to counter-attack and attack. So I switch over here. As you can see, my cursor's just changed and he's going to throw the ball to his fullback. So straight away, I've switched and I've got in front of the lane and I've won the ball back high, which gives me another chance to try and score. But me personally, if I'm him, I will never throw the ball out like this. With the keeper, you want to keep it as simple as possible. You don't want to lose the ball high. So to counteract this, just drop the ball by clicking Y or triangle and just pass it out to one of your centre halves, which is open. So you don't have a risk of losing the ball by trying to throw it out. I didn't see it the first time. See, he wins the ball back, and these players are an option. So I switched to Mendy to get in front of both of them, and then obviously I'm there. So then his next option is here, but I know that his next option is there before he does. So before he threw the ball, I've switched and got in front of the lane to watch the throw, and obviously I've created another chance for myself. It's all about quickly switching, making your opponent think you're doing something which your end goal isn't, if that makes sense. And then obviously I've won the ball back with the bait. Here's another example of risk versus reward in pressing, where obviously I've switched to, as you can see, I switched to Semedo to press Fati, you'll see in a sec, and watch the pass to Griezmann at the same time. So I'm sort of guarding two things at once. but he's managed to avoid my me pressing the lane. But in my head, I've weighed up the risk versus reward of if he does get past me, I know it's Griezmann and I know it's Semedo and that I'll be able to recover. So obviously he's got past me and I've recovered with like Semedo. And it's such a little thing, but it's such a big thing because if you do win the ball back here, like you've won the ball back and you're already in the final third with like a 4-on-4 and you're ready to counter attack. So it's such like a little thing, but in defense, the little things are the biggest things. So if I do win the ball up there, the chances are like I'm going to get a chance to score. But if I don't win the ball back, he's not going to score from his own half. So there's always like a chance I can recover if it doesn't go to plan. So another thing is team press. Team press at the moment is really overpowered and really good in the game. So here's an example of me just switching it on and winning the ball back and creating myself a chance. So obviously he's got the ball here with his goalkeeper. I've stuck on team press and straight away my Lamb's covered his right back. My Ram's covered his left back down here. My striker's on his other centre back, and he's stuck with the ball with his his centre back. So constantly switching, watching everyone. Obviously, at the moment I'm watching his left back with my right winger. I'm watching there's so many micro movements, and I bait it enough. Where he thinks, okay, my only option here is this guy. But then last second, I switch. Predict he's going there and just get an easy chance to score. So it all comes from making my opponent like panic, baiting it, so he only has one option to pass the ball to, and as soon as I know, okay, he's going to pass the ball there, switching and just anticipating what he's going to do and winning the ball back last second, like forcing my opponent to make decisions, and obviously I get the easy chance to score and I score from it. So team press is just so effective this year, and I'll show you some more examples now. So obviously I lose the ball here, and obviously I've got team press on, so straight away, with the combination of team press and my micro movement switching, I watch his left back, I can test the header, like I could have won the ball there. I switched to Zidane to watch Sanchez, but then straight away I switched to Mbappe to watch his fullback. I then switched to CR7 to press him, and then I get Zidane as well to squeeze. But it's one of them where I've pressed his Virgil and watched his Sanchez at the same time. So I'm just doing two jobs at once while like giving him no options. Once again, I'm running his goalkeeper, predicting what he's going to do. As you see here, he's given the ball to his goalkeeper, and I know he's turned, nothing there. He's turned on his right foot, and there was nothing there. So me personally, I know he's going to go back on his left foot to look for another option. So before he's even turned to go back on his left foot, I've switched to Neymar, and I've predicted that he's going to do it. Obviously, I'm switched before he's even turned. So it's all about predicting and trying to read what your opponent's going to do. That's the most important part of pressing. And obviously, I forced him to like almost make a mistake. But it's just a constant process of just switching, watching everything he's going to do, micro movement, switching to watch his left back, watch his right back, watch his CDM, and just cutting off all his options and forcing him to only have one option that he can do. And then, if you can, try get in front of that player to win the ball back. So the last part to defending is offside trap. Now, the offside trap is one of the most crucial parts of pressing, because it just pushes your team so far further up the pitch. So if you're pressing with your attackers and they get past your first line of press, there's not so much space between the defence and the attack. Your defence is coming up with your attack, which is key in real life and on FIFA. So as you can see here, my opponent's passing the ball about. Obviously, I'm constantly pressing, trying to win the ball back here, watching lanes. But he gets in behind, but I'm constantly, obviously, as I say, he broke the first line of press, but I'm spamming offside traps, keep clicking it to push my defence further up the pitch. As you can see here, I've pushed my defence further up the pitch. I've switched to Varane, and I've obviously watched the lane to Sanchez, won the ball back. But this is what I talk about, transition after pressing. I've won the ball back and transition straight away, a direct pass forward. I think a lot of people here win the ball back and they think, okay, let's just keep the ball, and they play the easy pass to Zidane. But I like to try and cut out the middleman on the counter attack. So I ignore Zidane and I just play a direct pass forward, because the quicker you win the ball back, the quicker you need to counter attack, because it just comes like together as a two, where you win the ball back, you want to play a direct pass forward to cut out everyone like involved. Obviously, with this one pass, I've cut out his whole midfield, and I've got a 2-on-2 where I get the angle to pass and I go 1-on-1, and obviously I finish past the goalkeeper. So it's all about defending, winning the ball back, and you're playing direct passes forward to try and counter. and that is the benefit of pressing, just in that clip right there. After winning the ball back, me personally, I always try to go direct, because you win the ball back and there's no point of having this high press defense if when you win the ball back you're going to be conservative. A lot of people go sideways to come forward, but me personally, I go forward to come back, if you know what I mean. So I always play a direct pass, like I do here, and then obviously I got a 2-on-2. But say he covers this pass, I will obviously turn and try to find another option. So I attack to come back, and I always want to see if the quick counter's there, but if it's not, that's when I'll come back. But a lot of pros and players will win the ball back, then go sideways and then build up. But as I just said, I prefer to go forward to come back, because I think it's just more like effective and efficient, because obviously the pass is on there, but say I pass it on another time, I'll just go back. But I just think it's so much better to win the ball back, and then straight away you want to go forward and hit them on a counter attack. To get better at all these steps I'm telling you guys, you need to learn it like one by one sort of thing. So you can't just think, okay, you can't watch this and just be good at defending like me straight away, like good at pressing. You need to learn it step by step. So first, learn how to set traps, like give your opponent one option, and then last second switch, and then watch that option. And then you need to learn from certain situations. So if the goalkeeper has the ball, learn how to watch his right back, then quickly switch to watch his left back, then switch to watch his centre back. Just constantly switching, looking at the radar, looking who's open, looking who's not open. So it's all about learning it one by one, and then perfecting it, and then obviously bringing it all together in like a couple of weeks when you've perfected like pressing. Because in my opinion, pressing and skill moves, or what we'll get onto later, are the two most important things to take you from this level on FIFA to this level. To sum it all up, to press, the key things are offside trap, player switching, trying to do two jobs at once with your defenders by pressing them and watching the passing lanes. And they are just like the three main parts to defending and pressing.